What's good? Just taking a moment to collect myself, gather myself, collect my thoughts. Getting ready to slide up here and go and attend, the Friday congregational prayer, Juma, here in Seoul, South Korea. And I wanted to take a moment and share just a few words of encouragement and guidance from my perspective to people that I care about post-election, that trauma. What's up, Trent? Yeah, over the course of the last couple of days, it's been very, very intense, and a lot of people have experienced a myriad of emotions. And I just want to take a moment to, to capture some of those thoughts and just, share my love and concern with all of those individuals that may be feeling a little emotionally drained as a result of the things that they've seen. Oh, you already know, Trent for President 2024. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get you in that 2020, buddy, but 2024 definitely. We definitely is always Trent for President, man. You need to go ahead and get them stickers made up right now so that way we can start campaigning. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna have to be a deliberate effort, especially depending on the platform that you want to run on. And it's a different platform that's gonna be coming out soon. I want you to make yourself aware of it and also do the research so that way you can see what platform you want to run on. But when we sit and we look and we consider this election season and all of those things, I try not to really comment about that too tough. And I was really, based on the guidance of my wife, I was really giving some guidance to really be careful about how you speak about that type of stuff, because a lot of people, they get in their feelings about that stuff, and you really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings relative to their particular belief system. But when we think about a belief system or those things that we embrace to be truths, or those things that we accept as truths, you have to ask yourself, especially for us as people of African descent, we have to ask ourselves, where do those belief systems come from? Like, what are they rooted in? And so for me, I'm gonna tell a story, and I'm gonna link it to a story, and that's what I do. I tell stories. I was but not a story meaning a lie. Remember when we was kids, they used to say, when you was lying, they say you telling a story. And that ain't the kind of story I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a real story about an interaction that took place between myself and my mother. I was driving on I-35 headed back to Fort Hood. I believe I was coming from Tennessee, and as I was nearing Killeen, I was having a conversation with my mother, and my mother said Martin Luther King was the greatest leader that black people in America ever had. And when she said that to me, I was taken aback. I was like, Martin Luther King was the greatest leader that black people ever had? Suffice it to say, the man was an outstanding leader, and he did wonderful things for our community. But there have been leaders that made just as significant an impact. He was tremendous. But in our lifetime, we have seen greater leaders than Martin Luther King. Now, if you hold Martin Luther King to be the epitome of leadership that we've experienced during our sojourn in America, then that's your personal belief. But we can't say that Martin Luther King had all of the solutions for our condition. If he did, then we wouldn't find ourselves in the same condition that we're in right now. So I told my mom, I said, man, I can't allow you to say that. I can't allow you to say that Martin Luther King was the greatest leader that we ever had, when black people in the 1930s and 40s, were organizing and doing significant things. Martin Luther King, he did his part, but we saw 1.8 million people come together on the mall in Washington under the guidance and the direction of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan. So I said, in a good conscience, I couldn't allow you to say that. So me and my mother, we talking. So I asked my mama, and it just hurt your feelings if you take this personal, man, to hell with you, right? Because y'all should know me by now, because those individuals that are on my Facebook friend list, I did a real good job of decooning it and and segregating all of the rednecks off of it. So the individuals who watch these videos, it should be individuals that pretty much know that I'm blunt, raw, honest with you. All right. So anyway, so me and my mom, we having a conversation. Now this woman, she raised us in the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses, and so I know my mother ain't really got a real firm grasp on religion, because she ain't really raised us religiously. So I asked my mom, I say, Mom, you believe in Jesus? And she say, yeah, I believe in Jesus. I say, who taught you that? She say, well, my mother and my father taught me about Jesus. Now I know a little something about her mother and her father, and you know how the conditions of their household. I say, well, who taught them? She said, well, their mother and father taught them. I said, and who taught them? She said, their mother and father taught them. And I said, and who taught them? She said, oh, I get it. Eventually, I'm going to have to say, Mr. Charlie taught them. I say, yes. At some point, for us in our sojourn in this country, religion was taught to us by individuals who served as our master. So at the point at which the individual who served as our master taught us religion, at that point, we're not obligated to take our system of religion from an individual who is responsible for our enslavement, not in the actual practice of it, because you can't expect somebody who mastered you to give you freedom. That's just a blunt, raw, honest truth, right? So understanding that's who taught us our system of religion, we have to also ask ourselves, who really taught us all those things that we accept as truths? Because a lot of people are not talking about your vote count. Now, I ain't saying that your vote doesn't count. I'm saying the proper use of your vote count. But who taught you that? See, when a person teaches you something, you got to ask yourself, what is the motive for you teaching me that which you want me to accept as a belief? If you're teaching me for the benefit of yourself, then that thing that you're teaching me to accept as truth, I don't necessarily have to potentially accept it because you told me to accept it. You want me to accept it because it benefits you. So when they said that we were 3/5 human as a according to the 13th Amendment, when they said that we were 3/5 human for the purpose of the vote, so that way they could tabulate the votes in ways that was beneficial to them, at that point we could say, no, I'm gonna vote for Christ. You see? And so the question that we gotta ask ourselves is would he have ran on any of these platforms that we have seen? And I ain't knocking Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, because man, to be completely honest with you, I don't care about either one of them. And if y'all look at my background, y'all look where I'm at. I'm in Seoul, South Korea right now. I'm gonna show y'all something, man. I'm gonna teach y'all about the power of y'all vote. Cause see, we sitting around here and we saying, well, how does this happen? How does this happen? I'm in Seoul, South Korea. I want y'all to see something. That's a Taco Bell, man. That's a Taco Bell in Seoul, South Korea. That's a Quiznos. That's a Quiznos in Seoul, South Korea. I just left Starbucks. You understand what I'm saying? So now, when we understand that those self-interest groups and those lobbyists, those corporations determine who they want to enter into business deals for them. When you talk about American foreign policy, or you talk about nuclear proliferation, see, you talking about something that's on a whole nother level. It's something that the energy that exists amongst us, the things that we have been arguing about, you know, for the last 18 months. It didn't matter to us. What we should have been doing is we should have been working at a grassroots level in our communities, trying to, you know, determine those individuals who are going to actually play a role in the cultivation of good economics in our community, of healthy educational systems in our community. If we would have done that, then it would have mattered a little bit. It would have mattered just a little bit more for us relative to the actual election season. So I really appreciate you know all of y'all who are taking this time out to just share these moments with me. And I ain't gonna keep y'all long. We talking about the way forward right now. All right. So now a person that's coming to power, and we might not particularly agree with them. You know, as a person who has had the opportunity to serve in the United States military, I've had an opportunity to see a lot, go a lot of places, and do a lot of things. And sometimes those things that you see and those things that you do, you know, it has the ability to change the way that you perceive life and reality. So now, what should we be doing now at a grassroots level in our community? Because some things are going to change. Some programs that were essential to our survival, those things are going to change. How now can we produce the things that we need in our community to ensure that as it changes, we're not affected adversely? Okay, I'll tell you this. Like I put on a post yesterday or the day prior. You know, in our area, we do things, little things like host town hall meetings. You know, we come together, we meet on a regular basis. I saw Sister Rhonda Brown on here at some point. I don't know if Sister Rhonda Brown is still with us, but she hosts a forum called the Central Texas Think Tank, in which leaders from around our community sit down and they discuss solutions for some of the ills that affect the community adversely, and then we systematically chart courses or design programs that's going to allow us to move forward in order to continue the evolution of the thinking of the people of the community. Because that's the first thing that got to change. nothing is going to change until we change the way that we think or perceive those. Hey, blessing to you too, Sister Rhonda. Nothing is going to change until we change the condition of our thought, the way that we think about this thing. Because we got a Messiah complex. We were looking for somebody to come and do those things for us that we were unwilling to do for ourselves. That is what must change right now in this moment. In this moment, we have to develop a determination in order to ensure that we chart successful courses for our family, for our children. Man, I'm gonna tell you something that broke me up, man. And my wife was on here a little while ago watching me. I think she had to go back to work. But when I saw how upset she was at the fact that she didn't vote because she thought that she was doing the right thing. What up, Ronnie? When I saw how upset she was, I felt so bad as a man. I felt bad as a man because it was like, you know, it was like she felt like it was somebody who could have done better for our community, and then she didn't exercise her will or her vote in order to ensure that, you know, she participated in that process. So now somebody has come into what's going on, Robert? Say something for me, bro. Hey, I miss your voice, bro. Walking through the walls of Carol City, lighting it up. Hey, check this out. All right, and so that energy, that negative energy that was inside of our community, that was, you know, people, you know, critical of other individuals who didn't do so, you know, or do what they thought that they should have done, you know what I'm saying, or voted for Donald Trump or this or this or that. Man, it's 3 votes. It's yay, it's nay, and it's abstain. The fact, the fact that I don't have anything on me right now. Let me go to the ATM and then I'll give you something. I'll catch you around here. Yeah, it's everywhere. Say hey to the Facebook community. Hey, say hey, so check this out, right? It's 3 votes. It's yay, it's nay, and it's abstention, right? I'm talking about for us as black people. Us as black people, and I ain't talking about, because I got a lot of Caucasian friends. I got a lot of people that's from the Hispanic and the Latino community. Y'all should abstain with us. But what we should have done, and what we did do halfway in effect, is abstain our vote. So that way individuals that seek political offices, now have to come to us with a program designed specifically for our empowerment. But if our vote gets lost in the masses of voters, you know, on a national scale, then our issues are never addressed because they're consumed in the power of the dominant majority of people. So what we have to do, what's up, bruh? Hey, so what we have to do is we have to be able to hold on to our power. We have to be able to come together collectively and develop agendas. I'm gonna tell you what bothers me the most, and I don't want to rant because I want to try to be above that petty energy that just sit around and just, you know, go and fly off of the handle. I'm so disgusted by the term black Democrat, black Republican. I prefer the term black voter. You see what I'm saying? Because are you effectively a Democrat? Are you effectively a Republican? Did God create Republicans or Democrats? He didn't create that. That's the machination of man. You see what I'm saying? So what we got to do is we got to be able to come together. Why should we be fractured now along political lines, along religious lines? We don't have to do that because we were taught that. And so since we were taught that, we don't have to accept that. We have the ability to choose what we want to believe. So let's come together and choose those things in our local cities. Wherever you at right now, what you should be doing, what should be your responsibility. Yeah, coming together collectively is a problem across the board. But Trent, with all due respect for us as black people, until we come together as black people, we can't expect another demographic to be concerned about those things, those interests that interest our communities. You see what I'm saying? And it's hard that's a hard concept for individuals to believe, especially good-natured people, right? And so when we talk that, you know, it sound divisive. That's not divisive. You can't enter into a relationship with a strong person when you're weaker. You know what I'm saying? So what we got to do is we got to develop a collective strength in order to be able to come together, so that way we can sit down at a table like men. Because if I'm a weak man, when I sit down at a table with a strong man, that strong man is going to dominate the conversation, and then I'm going to be left subject to whatever their will is. So what we have to do is we have to sit down and we have to develop the ability to be men, right? And as we develop the ability to be men, then we can now sit and enter into negotiation about those things that's going to benefit our community. Hey, but I'll say this: for anybody who lived over there in Carol City off 110th Street and 26th Avenue, remember Big Mama? You remember Big Mama as Big Mama used to walk around? Big Mama was Big Mama was a critical figure in our neighborhood. Everybody respected Big Mama. Everybody respected Big Mama. The Tugg respected Big Mama. All of the young girls and all of the young children, all of the intellectuals and the social people and the professional people in our community, all of them respected that woman, right? When I moved over there and to learn that concept as a young boy, I was like, why did they respect her? We respected her because she represented a certain strength in our community, right? And so now we have to develop the ability for you sisters that potentially is listening to that, man, y'all got to develop that ability to be like Big Mama, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that Affordable Care Act, that thing finna be out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's certain programs, that 21st Century Community Center Initiative, where people were putting in that grant money, that stuff finna be gone. You know what I'm saying? So why is it gonna be gone? Well, the money's still there. Why is it gonna be gone? It's gonna be gone because we ain't support the individual who came into power. You see what I'm saying? So now we can't expect that man to sit down at a table with those individuals that make up his cabinet and try to figure out ways in order to benefit our community. Yeah, well, he's supposed to be the president for all. 45 on before him was supposed to be the president for all us. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works, people. What we have to do is we have to be able to come together and we have to have a uniform program. I ain't saying that we all got to agree. I'm saying that we got to be able to lock ourselves in the rooms in the communities across this great nation, and we have to select officials that are going to allow us to be able to pool our collective strength. We're too fractured. Really, we're screwed in so many different respects of the form. But what we got to do now is we ain't got time to be complaining about it. Y'all should start hosting town hall meetings, man. If y'all don't know the blueprint for it, if you clueless about how to do it, y'all should inbox me. Y'all need to start coming together and getting 50 to 100 people inside of a room and talking about the issues that affect y'all community. What issues affect y'all community? Who's sick? Who children are sick? Who children got ADHD? Who children got asthma? Who children got those real critical issues that require a certain degree of medical attention that they don't have the ability to provide it for themselves, that were dependent upon on things like the Affordable Care Act? Y'all should have been doing that prior to the election, so that way y'all could have been determining who was going to be the city councilman, who was going to be the mayor, who was going to be the state representative, who was going to sit in Senate, so that way we could have had a voice. But we didn't do that. So since we didn't do that, we can't sit around now complaining. Now it's time for us to take the reins back into our own hand. Well, how are we gonna fund it? What you mean, how we gonna fund it? Y'all don't see all them raggedy jokers ride around donk dot sitting on 26-inch rims? That's how you're gonna fund it. You're gonna have to now be like Big Mama. Big Mama got respect. It's people that's in our community that have resources. They have funds that exist inside of our community. Now it's time for them. You remember, hey man, if y'all ain't had no OGs in your family, man, I'm sorry for you. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing like having an OG in your community that go over there and say, hey, look here, look here, Mookie, go ahead and take a little something over there to Big Mama, because you know Quita having a problem with them kids. So go ahead and run a couple of dollars, man, so make sure you're straight. If y'all don't have people like that in y'all community, man, shame on you, man. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Big Sergeant? You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you ain't have people in your community that came through there and gave you good words of guidance to tell you how to survive critical times and how to come together, the condition that exists inside our community right now, man, it's deplorable, man. So when Hillary Clinton called Donald Trump supporters a basket of deplorables, she wasn't wrong. The condition in our community is deplorable. When Donald Trump tell us things like, man, y'all ain't got nothing to lose, he wasn't wrong. You see what I'm saying? But we not wrong. We just victims of our condition. But we have to change the way that we think. And if we ain't willing to change the way that we think, we can't be willing to think that somebody, or we should not allow ourselves to think that somebody is going to come to do for us those things that we could do for ourselves. It's just not that time. That's not the time that we live in. What's up, brother Daryl? I was just telling the whole world about how gangster you is with the way you do things inside of the community. So proud of you, brother. You just a wonderful young person. And then for us who now are getting ready to enter into that phase of our life where we about to become elders, those individuals that are about to become elders, now it's our responsibility to take these young people under our wing and then to empower them. We can't be jealous of the accomplishments and the success that they are about to have. It's y'all saw that young boy, and thanks Ronnie for posting it. Hey, y'all saw that young boy in Michigan that's 21 years old that's set to be the mayor. That's what the reality is. The reality is we take young people like that, we cultivate them, we get them onto the city council, we get them to become mayor, we run them for senate, we all support them. And then those individuals, as we enter into these latter stages of our lives, what we need to be trying to do is figure out how to come together to cultivate industry. It's a lot of people that come and that's on my timeline particularly. I know my friends Man, we got some awesome people, man. Yeah, y'all jokers smart. Y'all are educated. Y'all got skills. Y'all got all of those things. We don't need nobody to do nothing for us. All we got to do is come together, but we can't be scared to do it. You can't want your 4,000 square foot home while, you know, other people living in the beans and in these shotgun houses, and they suffering and not willing to say, you know what, well, how can we do this? How can we come together critically thinking? How can we come together and create an opportunity for everybody to advance along a continuum of time? Not for you selfless, you selfish, no good son of a gun. Not for you, for your grandchildren, for your great-grandchildren. It ain't time for you to be concerned about your wealth and your success, and you just want it for yourself. You just want it for yourself so that way you can feel like you're better than everybody else, you know, amongst the people. But you ain't doing it for the benefit and the glory of the God, and make sure that all of us have all of those things that we need. That's from my vantage point. But check this out. I want y'all all to do something. It's like 13 people watching this right now. I want y'all all to inhale. All right, inhale. Exhale. You see that? Inhale. Exhale. Hey, right now, think about this. Think about this. 7 billion people right now on this planet are inhaling and exhaling, and there is a limitless supply of oxygen. God created a system by which everybody can have everything that they need without end. It's endless. It's an endless system. We have to be able to figure out how to adopt that level of wisdom so that way we can create a system for ourselves that give us the ability to replenish and produce and provide for our children and our women. All right. Hey, I'm finna let y'all go because I'm finna get ready to go pray. You know what I'm saying? But the last thing I will say, right? And I know I've been all over the place, but I'm just saying whatever God put in me, I'm just gonna let it come on out. And I ain't gonna be scared to do that as I move forward, because, you know, it's time now. It's time. We have things going on with us. It's things that we need. But as we enter into these next 4 years, into the darkness, you know, I think that's the 23rd Psalm to say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Right? We getting ready to enter into a real difficult time, because ideology has come into power, and it came into power as a result of direct planning. 18 months ago, when Donald Trump declared his presidency or so, I told people, man, I say, man, that man gonna be the president. I told a lot of people that man was gonna be the president, and nobody believed, right? So what did we do? Because of the nature that the black man and woman is created with, we started praying. But while we started praying, them jokers started campaigning. While we was looking towards Christ, them jokers was relying on them Christian Knights. See, y'all can play these games if y'all want to, but David Duke told y'all what time it is. Hey, and we sit here playing crazy as all outdoors. Look here, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. It's time for us to start being men. And I ain't really necessarily talking to women right now. I'm talking to men. So if you're a man and you listening to my voice, right, and you ain't developed you the courage to be able to protect and support black women, children, families, develop relationships with individuals that's not in your demographic or not in your community, and you want to walk around thinking that somebody's scared of you because the narrative that they sell on the media is that I shot him because I was afraid for my safety. Hey, a hunter does not enter the forest searching for a bear afraid. Hey, take 2 seconds and think about that. Hey, a hunter don't get a gun and then walk into a forest full of trees and don't know where the bear at, looking for the bear, afraid. When people come into our community trained lethally with the skills to kill and then gun somebody down, you thought they was afraid? No, joker, they was hunting. They hunted you down, right? So now what we got to do is we got to develop the ability to become unhunted, right? We got to and keep it 100. That's what we got to do. We got to stop being scary. It ain't nothing tough about you out there hustling and acting like you tough. Hey, you is a sucker, man. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? What we need to do now is we need to develop the ability to support, defend, and protect our children in our communities. How? By getting lethally armed. But you gonna get? You got tank money? You got Apache money? The Hellfire missile costs $25,000 or $80,000. You see what I'm saying? Is that what you think you need to do? If that's what you think you need to do, just stay your ass off my street. You see what I'm saying? Because that ain't necessarily what we need to do. I ain't saying that we should be scared to fight if somebody fight. You fight with those who fight with you. Hell, hey, Hey, Kool-Aid don't run through here. You see, hey, you see that thing? Hey, that thing say Rue Wrestling. Hey, shout out to them boys from Killeen that's on their way to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? My son and them team, they did it. They on their way to the play. They're gonna play DeSoto on Friday. So if you're in the Killeen area, go up there and go support them boys. I'm saying, as men, what we need to do is we need to develop the ability to cultivate a condition in our community of mutual respect, and where everybody understand. Listen to me carefully. Where everybody understand, if you do something to one of these women that we connected to, we're gonna put our foot in your ass. Hey, don't you be out here messing with these women. Don't you be out here messing with these children. And I don't care who you is. And hey, you disrespect one of our women, it's like disrespecting one of us. So you can't be running around here trying to act like you're a thug, or acting like you this or you that, riding around with a whole bunch of dope on you and guns and all that kind of stuff. Them days over, man. Them days over. That's not the characteristics of courage. It ain't the characteristics of courage. I get it. You was getting to how you live. You was doing what you had to do in order to feed your kids. You know what I'm saying? That's all you could do to feed your kids. That's all you could do. That's an excuse. You know what I'm saying? You making excuses. You know what I'm saying? You sound weak as hell. You know what I'm saying? Stop sounding weak in front of people. You know what I'm saying? Because the day and time we living in, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the only way we're going to get through is based on our righteous conduct. You know what I'm saying? Righteous conduct means the ability to stand up right and do what's necessary in order to provide for your community, provide for your children, provide for your brother. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to stand together and come together. You know what I'm saying? Old school all day, Sister Rhonda. You got it. Hey, real talk. Hey, let me shout out my scholar. You know what I'm saying, who provide for my for my mental support and some of the things that I do. Shout out to Dr. Donna Godfrey, holla at a scholar. You know what I'm saying? That's our mantra. You know what I'm saying? Holla at a scholar. It's time for us now to cultivate scholarship. It's time for us to cultivate our intellect. It's time for us to cultivate our unity. Our unity is stronger than a neutron bomb. You see what I'm saying? So now it's time for us to come together and figure this thing out. You see what I'm saying? We ain't got no time to waste. You know what I'm saying? I remember when my daughter was 14 years old. When my daughter was 14 years old on her 14th birthday. And for those of y'all who don't know, man, the first 6 years of my daughter's life, I was a deadbeat dad, right? And it ain't that I was a no good guy. I was just young. You know what I'm saying? I had a child very, very young. I did not know how to be responsible. And I tried a lot of things, you know, I tried a lot of things. I'll tell you about that one day later. I tried a lot of things, and some of those things was unsuccessful. But when I finally got it together and was able to be active in her life as best I could, you know, I missed out on a lot of critical years. So when she turned 14, you know what I'm saying, and we had an opportunity to really sit down and really have a heart-to-heart talk where I felt like she was intelligent enough to understand, you know what I'm saying, my position as a man. I told her, man, I said, man, anything you got to say to me, I got to be able to have the courage to withstand whatever you got to say, because I know that it was some days in your life where you had questions, and I know I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So anything you want to say to me, if it's F-U-N-I-G-G-A, you wasn't S-H-I-T, I just got to take it. And that little girl looked at me in my eyes, man, and she told me, she said, I had a lot of questions. She said, but I don't have any questions right now. You know what I'm saying? She said, because I understand. And so, you know, it was a blessing for my heart. But I asked her, I said, you 14 years old. I said, in 4 years, you're going to be a woman. I say, so I'm going to ask you today, what do you want to be when you grow up? I say, I don't expect the answer right now. I say, but I'm going to ask you that every year. I'm going to ask you every year until you turn 18, what do you want to be when you grow up? So her 15th year came, and I asked her, remember I told you when you turn 14, I was going to ask you, what do you want to be? She turned 16. I said, remember I told you I was going to ask you, what did you want to be? She turned 17. I said, I told you I was going to ask you what you want to be. When she turned 18, you know what? I ain't asked her no more what she wanted to be. It wasn't time for me to ask her what she wanted to be, because if your ass ain't been working on that for these last 4 years, it's game time now. It's time to play. You see what I'm saying? So now here we got 461 years we've been in this country. We ain't did a goddamn thing. I'm in Korea, right? The population of Korea is about 54 million people in Korea. Korea is about the size of Indiana. These people have been free from communist rule for approximately 64 years. In 64 years, they've accumulated a GDP that has made them the 6th wealthiest nation in the world. They got 54 million people. It's 46 million black people in America. We've been emancipated from slavery for over 150 years. And in 150 years, we haven't figured out how to create systems for ourselves that'll give us the ability to be competitive on international markets. Now, I'm gonna let y'all go. I told you I was gonna let y'all go, but God, the Spirit put this in me, and I just gotta share this with you. In 64 years, they became the 6th wealthiest nation. Go back and do the research. It's somewhere between 6 and 8 where Korea falls right now based on their GDP. Based on our GDP of having $1.1 to $1.3 million per year that come through our hands, it places us at about 14, right? They got 25 million people that live in the Greater Seoul metropolitan area. They call that the Gizmo, right? And the Gizmo is 25 million people, right? So now with 46 million people, we have a population in America larger than Canada, a little smaller than Korea, but we haven't been able to figure out how to create a reality that we cultivate and shape for ourselves. Why? Why is because the system of education that cultivates our understanding is not geared towards giving us or granting us independence. So what we have to do now is figure out how to adopt a system of education that gives us the ability to cultivate the thoughts necessary in order to produce a reality unlike that which we experience right now. I'm a high school dropout. Did y'all hear what I just said to y'all? I am a high school dropout. All y'all talking about all y'all talking about, I'm sorry, all y'all talking about y'all was finna leave and go to Canada when Trump got elected, but y'all woke up in y'all houses this morning. I ain't laughing at y'all. I just think that that's funny, right? I think that's funny because what you leaving for? Hell, you ain't got to go nowhere. They brought us. So since you brought us here, hell, you got to deal with us now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going no goddamn way. I can't wait to get back to the States. I'm in Korea right now. Y'all see where I'm at? I'm in Korea right now. I can't wait to get back to the States. Because when I get back to the States, I'm so motivated and excited because it's like in the Bible, in the book of Job, that protective hedge have been removed from around us, and now it gives us the ability to be able to really thrive, really strive. Not a strong gonna survive. Are you strong? You know what I'm saying? You don't feel empowered right now. You don't feel empowered knowing that the person who's sitting in your face ain't smiling in your face, don't like you. That don't motivate you. Oh, cause you ain't, hey, cause you don't be off in that gym. Hey man, look here, man. Go on, get you some running shoes, man. Get you a goddamn sweatsuit, put that thing on, start doing you some push-ups and sit-ups, and get ready, man. It's time, man. It's time for us to go out there and do what we do. Cause there's nothing impeding us. The opiate is gone. You know what I'm saying? The blunt, it done went out. You could try to smoke the roach all you want to. You ain't gonna do nothing but burn your fingers up. It's gone, right? Hey, if you ever was snorting cocaine, hey, you heard what Rick James said. Rick James say cocaine is a hell of a drug. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so if you was on some of that, boy, hey, whatever is whatever. Look here, people. Look here. Everybody ain't finna be with this. And I know I ain't everybody cup of tea. Everybody ain't finna be with it, man. But it's something coming, and it's something big. And I really wish I could share with y'all right now. But it's a lot of people right now working really hard to create opportunities. When the opportunities come, it's time for us to all start to get behind one another and support one another and then move in that direction. We got to stop being so divisive. We got to stop that crab in the barrel mentality. We got to come together along those things in which we can agree, and then we got to move for that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make mistakes. We're going to fail along the way, but these people don't become successful on perfect the first time. They make mistakes. So if it's somebody in your community and they got a good idea, support the good idea. What's going to happen? Hey, like Donald Trump said, what do you got to lose? Try something. Hell, if you want to open up a business, man, open it. You know what I'm saying? What do you got to lose? Okay, I don't want to go bankrupt. It's going to tear my credit up. We got $19 trillion worth of debt as a country. We ain't got no goddamn credit. Hey, let it go, man, and go in and go do your thing. So, I'm going to get ready to slide out here, man. I'm going to go make this prayer. Pray. Everybody pray. Y'all promise me that. Promise me that when we get off of this live feed, man, promise me, everybody who hear these words, you're going to take a minute or two to acknowledge the divine supreme creator of the universe. Tap into your power. Pray. And as you pray, the Spirit of God will comfort you, and it'll remove that fear from you. And then you'll know that this what we're doing is insignificant. It's insignificant. There's nothing that is going to happen to us that's going to come of this thing that's going to change who we are as a people. We strong as hell. Hey, it ain't no people created stronger than us. Okay. That's a whole nother mentality. That's a whole nother mentality. That's a whole nother statement that I want to make about why potentially we in the condition that we in. But you're strong. You're strong. You're strong beyond what you can even imagine. Everything that you've been through in your evolution in the society was preparing you for this moment. Hey, I see my boy Kermit Virgil just came on here. Hey, it was the drum major at Miami Carol City, seeing how he was marching Chiefs. Hey, all summer we used to be out there in that heat, out there on that field, marching and drilling, preparing. Hey, that your heart start beating fast right before you're getting ready to perform. You see what I'm saying? And then when you get out there after you play that first note, when the drum major blow that whistle, hey, man, it's game time, coach. Let's go. So, hey, if you ain't never had that experience, man, go find you something to compete in so that way you can you have opportunity to feel the power of the experience that we're getting ready to embark on. Look, I love y'all to death. I love y'all, and I just hope that you consider the things that I shared with you, because it's out of love that I'm sharing these things with you. So remember, and I'll recap real closely, real briefly. Whatever you believe, you gotta ask yourself, who taught you, right? And then after you ask yourself, who taught you those things that you believe right now today, you ask yourself, did your teacher have your benefit at heart when they was teaching you those things? Or was your teacher trying to teach you something that was going to benefit whatever the ultimate objective was of the system of education? You see what I'm saying? All right, we have some excellent teachers, but ask yourself, those things that I know right now, are they benefiting me right now? You got to do that with everything in your life. I promise you, I ain't telling you something that's of Tavares. I promise you, what I'm telling you is something that I learned through, research and discussion and intimate discussion with individuals from the University of Pennsylvania, over the course of the last couple of weeks. I've been dealing with these social scientists. So ask yourself now, what I believe is still beneficial for me, right? My vote. How can I best use it, and how can I use it to benefit myself? That's those things that you want to ask yourself. And everybody's assignment, it's 12 people that I'm looking at right now. All 12 of you, y'all need to inbox me and figure out how y'all can host y'all a town hall meeting and develop an agenda that you need to get 20 to 30 people together, so that way you can start talking about ways in order to improve your community. If 12 people get 20 to 30 people together, that's 360 people. So now you get 360 people, and those 360 people go out and talk to 30 people. You see what I'm saying? And that's how we're gonna do it. Hey, look here. Hey, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. When I'm praying, I'm gonna think about y'all, and when y'all pray, y'all think about me. Inhale, exhale, enjoy some of this good oxygen that God created for all of us. Hey, I love y'all, man. Y'all be easy, man. Peace. Ah, shit. Hold on. Hey, Nikki, man, what's going on? You missed it, man. Hey, recap. You know what I'm saying? All the way from the top, keeping it live for my sister, girl. I love you. Hey, I gotta go because I gotta go pray, but I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace.